ever. And with that, looks like we are ready for The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past All Dungeons race with apathyduck and Andy. Take it away.
All right, awesome. Hey, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Yo.
Hello. Hey, thank you so much for joining us over here at the Link to the Past All Dungeons runs with Andy and apathyduck. This is going to be a super awesome thing. So we got Andy over here on your left side, and you got apathyduck right now, two incredible runners. I am Lanxion. I will be commentating here for you today. This is going to be such an awesome run. I cannot wait to get this thing started.
So we're ready whenever you want to count us down, Mr. Lanx.
Oh, that's me. Oh, I get the honor and the pleasure to count this thing down. So you guys both ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome. All right, let's go. I'm going to go on go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
I was waiting for the go.
I just went when he was supposed to say go, so it's okay.
So welcome to Link to the Past. These shenanigans, this is what you're going to expect for the rest of the run, so I'm going to go ahead and botch this forever. If you guys are not unfamiliar with Link to the Past All Dungeons, this is a restricted major glitch category, so you're going to see the first 10.5 minutes or so of plain Jane racing Link to get Zelda, to get yourself some boots, and then after that we're going to get a little wet and wild with this thing, so hold on to your hats. This is going to be a fantastic run. Andy's going to showcase us some old boy strats since he's been running the game since, I don't know, 2090s
probably.
Yeah. Since before I was born. And then Duck's going to be showcasing some of the newer strats, being the poster boy for some of the new tech in the run. All right,
when Andy said he was going to submit this, I'm like, well, I can't let him do it by himself. People think that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, I ran this at AGDQ 2015.
Holy moly.
So it's a little bit different than it used to be.
Andy looks a little different, too.
True. I'm not 24 anymore.
I was going to say 15.
Well, Duck was still 30 then, so it's still fine.
It's true.
And as always, I'll give you the boring introduction of the game category. Every single category we do, it's not going to look fancy. It's just running through Escape, going to grab Zelda, grabbing your lamp, and then making your way back up towards Sanctuary. Tale as old as time. Save the princess, be done with the game. We won't be doing anything really, really too exciting until, I believe, in the beginning of Eastern, where I think you're both going to be going for Citrus, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
All right. Oh, he says, of course, like he goes for all new strats. So, well, we've actually seen a pretty good resurgence of runners for this category, mostly because of through some recent kind of new findings. We found out that a lot of the clips prior, 2016, were very, very prohibitive. You had to do some very difficult one-frame tricks that I'm pretty sure Andy only knows how to do. And then... we're going to be you got to use bomb clips, which made the run significantly easier, which kind of skyrocketed the number of people that have jumped into this category. So it's a much, much more accessible run. It's somewhere really between the NMG category and some of the crazier glitch categories. So if you like what you see here, this is going to be pretty fun. So.
Yeah, the sword clips are actually still optimal in a couple of locations. Why Andy is still going to go for them, but they're very, very difficult. It's a bunch of one-frame inputs in a row, and if you mess up, you have to start completely over. As far as the race goes, if he does them cleanly, he's going to make up time on me. But if he struggles with them at all, I'll probably mess up a little bit there. A lot of people do the one of the middle because it's not as difficult.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that when we kind of run up to some of these clips, I'll kind of tell you about how Andy's going to do it, or what the optimal look is, and if it's like a bomb clip, if it's newer to the category, I'll make sure to let you guys know that as well. But
yeah, for clarification, I only do 2 sword clips. All the rest are bomb clips. So
Yeah,
I'm not full old boy
No,
anymore.
Andy, you're old as dirt. Don't deceive the runners here.
Yeah, some of the bomb kills are just straight up faster, but like the first one, I have to go out of my way to get bombs.
Did you skip that chest entirely, Andy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a
I just saved
gamer.
quite a boots.
What a gamer.
That's why that first clip is good, even with 9.
Saves. Yeah.
But you can't chest
It's also
turn.
faster.
It's true. You lose chest turn. It is not the optimal chest turn route.
Listen, you got to get 10 before the run's over, or it's just null and void.
That's why Kozer got the mobile.
Yeah, if you ever do that, just shut that down.
Incentive.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, so we're going to do all chest turn % one of these times.
God.
I will donate probably, let's see, I'll donate $2 for each chest turn done by both runners for the rest of this.
All right.
All right, here comes the first one.
Each real chest turn. No, you can't just go out of your way for this garbage, all right? No, if one of you picks up the 20, you have to pay my fee, all right?
Oh, 0 for 1.
Same.
These runners do not want anyone to make any money at all, so nicely done, guys.
If we wanted chest turn %, we should have had you run it, or the chest turn master.
Yeah, I think the only one that I like knowingly could go for is in Aga Tower. Just, a little bit of ways.
Dude, no one wants to see a 116 run, but like 15 chest turns, man. That's why you guys are running it. So both runners are going to be here. They're going to be finishing up the sanctuary portion here. They're going to grab Zelda, and they're going to. If you're familiar with the NMG route, normally you would pick up the Sank Heart here for safety. Both these runners are going to skip that for now because there's a much better spot to grab it later on. Ooh, Apathy. The shoutouts to the rat frames. Apathy getting hit by that rat, which removes the shield. So now the text box is going to be faster for some reason in this game.
Heals despawn, but Link's got to be here in his pose of agony for all these talking. I don't know what's happening to him. Nothing good with that face.
Now both runners are going to do the greatest glitch of all time, save and quit. Go back to Link's house, and they're both going to walk over to Eastern Palace. Both runners are going to go for something we talked about it before. You're going to see a sword clip in the first of the run. It's going to be called Citrus Clip. They're going to kind of, I think it's optimally it saves about 6 or 7 seconds over just walking to Eastern. And they're going to use their sword to kind of buffer some 1 to 2 frame movements to get into the wall and kind of screen wrap themselves into the entrance of Eastern. So you're going to see that over here. Hopefully both these guys can get a pretty good shot at it.
Actually used my boomerang.
My goodness.
I wanted to be different.
I'm going to need to check the tapes on that. That might have been the 109.
Don't ever talk to Duck about these. He just talks about his citrus times while simultaneously dying to Helmasaur in his second dungeon. So,
While simultaneously, Helma just showing up on the citrus clips so I can die to him.
that's perfect.
Well, he's not supposed to be there.
Well, both these runners, you can use the boomerang, use the sword. Anything that stops Link's movement so you don't move too far, you can lose a bunch of time messing that up. Both these runners had to put some actual time and practice into knowing that clip to get it done.
Yeah, the whole point of using the sword or the boomerang, when you use an item or a sword, it stops your movement, and it's a lot easier to push a button and then another button within a frame than trying to just push it. That is for me that a lot.
Yeah, so Andy and Duck are going to go through kind of a very standard looking Eastern Palace. Only some small tricks. They're going to take a D-boost to get their big key coming up. But right now it's just kind of navigating the dungeon as intended. No real skips here. Saku, if you want to do like a donation or two, you definitely can do that.
Absolutely. We have a $100 donation from Chelsea X Lynn. Had to donate during the run for my boys Duck, Andy, and Lynx. And of course Saku at the host stand. Thank you GDQ for hosting this event during these crazy times. Test turn.
I definitely lost time trying to get that Chester. I failed to open the chest twice. Alright, I'll get this next one.
That is something very familiar to my runs. I'm just like doing a tap dance on there, losing about 4 seconds.
Nope. Awesome. Like in Super Metroid when you try to ledge grab a ledge but you don't quite make it, so you just like fall back down to the ledge you were just on over and over again.
Yeah, but you get
exactly
it
what that felt like.
Yeah, Jack, you know the secret to getting it? Being 2 minutes slower than you. I was like, you can probably squeeze another donation in here right before the Armos fight.
Sweet. Well, I do have one. I have a $50 donation from Kelpsy. Best of luck to Andy and Duck. So proud to be part of this community. Andy, who got me hooked on watching Link to the Past 7 years ago and speedrunning it 3 years ago, and Duck, who taught me this category 5 months ago, and I was able to later show it off on Frame Fatales this last February. Salutes in the chat, please, for our boy Duck and Andy. Don't hard lock the game.
Imagine. So actually, so the Armos fight, you want to get 18 shots in here. You're going to prime them up top right to make sure that they get 5 shots into them, and then kind of finish them off bottom left there to not get the spawn of the big guy here. Duck's missing the arrow count is actually pretty significant. He's going to have to go and get some arrows later. So
I'm sitting at 12. We're fantastic.
I have like just one. Yeah, basically, like you want to have a minimum 3. The problem is the back effect. I have to go way out of my way.
for sure.
Basically, the only way to get both get the bats. I did both, so here we are.
Yeah, so now you're going to see a little bit of a route divergence because Andy is not going to get the bombs in the back of Saha's hut, but we're both going to get boots here. Those are going to be incredibly important for the runs, going to enable a lot of clips. Like we're going to see right now, the intended order is to go to Desert Palace. We're just going to throw that right out the window. We're going to go up and get ourselves go to pod from here. The best way to get that is to go to Death Mountain. So they're both going to save and quit to Sanctuary. Get their Sanctuary heart right now because that's going to help them survive the perils of Death Mountain. Nice miss the chest turn for both of you.
I forgot to go for it.
So what you're going to see is Andy and Duck are going to put themselves in spin speed. This is going to help them. Oh boy, that's going to help them clip into the mountain. They're going to do a kind of a screen wrap and get themselves up onto Death Mountain. That's called DMA.
Uh-oh. All right, we're fine.
Like,
Thought he was going to poke me.
I'm looking forward to this hot $2 donation Link is going to make at the end.
Yeah, so what you see what Andy did, he basically, he did this kind of a screen wrap to jump into the old man cave here. So you're going to navigate this correctly. We need to get the mirror to continue rest of the run. And then they're going to do kind of what's called Kiki Heat. And use that same... and they're going to use that same...
Link just aged himself by the way he said yeet.
As those kids say. I sounded as old as Duck is. All right, so
I named it.
I know. So we're gonna get ourselves into the Kiki Cave now. What you need to know, I'm trying to explain to the people how this works, and I'm just getting dumped on right now. Kiki Heat, yes. So we're gonna get Kiki. Cool Whip. Gonna throw an H in there. Cool Whip. So basically, the purpose of this is that we really want to go to pod and we really want to get the hammer. So we're going to yeet ourselves into the Kiki cave over here. We're going to use one of the aforementioned bomb clips to get ourselves through the wall. And when you go through the wall in this cave, it just so happens that pod is on the other side. Andy's going to go for sword clips. What you're failing to notice is that he is doing one frame over there. That is an incredibly complicated set of clips. So now that you notice that Andy is in a pod, but it's in a cave state, I'm not going to go into the mumbo jumbo of it, but he has infinite keys. So he's going to open up a key up the door over here to make sure that the entire dungeon is a little easier to route here.
Basically, when you try to open a door, the game just checks to see if the key count is 0, and when it's not 0, it lets you open the door. That's it.
I was going to spare the mumbo jumbo, but I guess Andy's going to give you the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, the complicated technical process of not 0.
Well, you see, guys, there's an underflow to this. I'm going to push my glasses up a little higher. All right, right, so now both of our runners are in pod, Palace of Darkness, for those of you who don't like acronyms. They're going to get the big key.
Mumbo jumbo.
Very technical stuff. This is the part of the run where they're both going to be very cognizant of how many bombs and arrows they got. And Apathy is going to have to get some other arrows. Please get some more arrows.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, bud.
For the rest of the run, I will be guiding apathyduck through his run.
This is my first run in this, actually.
So we're gonna, after like using the mirror to get them out, they're going to head over to try to get themselves the hammer. They're going to utilize the bomb jump that you see in a lot of other clips. It's kind of a couple pixel perfect placements. These guys have been doing it since Nam, so they're going to make it nice and easy. And we'll see how these bomb jumps go, but then it's going to be a fairly straightforward shot down to Helmasaur. Really nice for Andy there.
Oh. That lead. Fix that.
Alright, most of it is me not getting Sahasrahla bombs, so you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good clip, though.
I did. Very true.
Really banking on you beefing that a couple times. Don't lie.
I didn't even practice that beforehand.
Woke up. Practice what?
Apparently, this is the barrier of entry for beating Duck. This is it right here.
Wake up.
Probably didn't even have coffee. Poor man.
No, I had coffee.
Might go crazy here.
Andy grabbing safety arrows.
Yep.
Man, like 2 days ago, like, I've never died in him.
Oh, jeez, you guys are brutal.
Dude, that was such a terrible day.
What am I even picking up these hearts for? Just immediately eats it. It's a sweet arrow cannon, I tell you.
All right, so as these guys are both alluding to, Helma is one of the showstoppers of the run. Your sword does not hurt him, so you have to hammer him in the face. So 17 hammers to the face mask and 4 hammers or 8 spin slashes with the fighter's sword. So this is actually really, really dangerous and a really, really big reset part of the run.
Yeah. You also have 2 less hearts than you normally would, which means you can only survive 2 hits if you go in with full health instead of 3. Helmasaur can be quite aggressive sometimes. Nice key dash.
Yeah, the second phase of this, he can choose to do a tail swipe and fireball combos to kind of put you in a pretty bad situation.
That's a bad start. Give him a little kiss.
Some runners will opt to hold their sword out to get some pretty long-range hits on Helmasaur. Andy decided that he was
Give him another kiss, it's fine.
He decided he was a big Billy over there and doing it red. So nice fight for Andy, kinda. He's not dead. So any time that you don't die is a really good
I'm not
fight.
dead. It's fine.
Duck utilized.
Oh, what the? This is a very mean pattern. Okay.
Jeez,
That is the meanest pattern I have seen in quite some time.
yeah. So
Literally nothing I could do there. Like how am I gonna just do that to you? Like if he just doesn't want you to live, you're not gonna live. I have 0 arrows. I don't take forever.
yeah. So what kind of happened there is that getting pinned against the wall, generally you can kind of give him a spin slash there, but he still kind of got poked out of there for some reason. So Duck's gonna have to come down here to get some arrows. And so while Duck makes his way back and Andy's in the cutscene, we can do a couple donations.
All right, we have a $100 donation from Emo Saru. I'd love to say that I'm super excited to see this all dungeons race between 2 of my favorite boys, but honestly, with infamous purse dog Lanxion on commentary, I'm just too upset about the fact that Lanx W emote is not available in the DDQ chat to properly focus on the action. Still, I will persevere, as this race is for all the marbles. I hope Duck curses noted randomizer main Radiant and blue ball RNG.
Hey, really
as anthropomorphic chicken nugget has had plot armor so far too long. 6, always 6.
I didn't realize it kept going. Hey, remember when you asked me if there were no memes? I didn't want to hear all of that. Just all
of that.
That's your list now. Cool. Switch.
I was like, hey, Duck, I just want to let you know that when I tell Saku she can read donations, you can't just cut her off.
I did, it was like Gone with the Wind she was reading over there. It was so long.
I had an 1805 pod, by the way.
My name is Andy.
That's my best pod time
My name is
I've
Andy,
ever had.
and I flex on GDQ runs. It's like my counterpart dies in Helmasaur, and then I just stomp him down.
That's better than my best pod.
Nice pod, Andy.
It's okay, I'm gonna throw it somewhere. I always do.
Hopefully a better pattern here for Duck. The fight started off a lot nicer.
Yeah, the problem, like, when he stays up the top like that, it takes so long to make hit the hammers, and he just put me in a really bad start from the very beginning, and then he gave me rude patterns in second phase. Like, I think if we drew up the worst pattern possible, it would look close to what I got the first time.
I cut that a little close, but that's okay.
Yeah, so it's like I kind of brushed over the fact that like Andy just popped himself up Death Mountain. I'll explain it a little more in detail when Duck does it.
Similar to the Eastern clip, but also different.
The same, but different. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That incredibly technical analysis from one Andy.
Hey, I'm old, okay?
He's trying to avoid the mumbo
I don't
jumbo.
have time.
Very hand wavy. One of the best parts of this category is you get to fight Moldorm with a hammer, 3 hits instead of 6 slashes, and you get to avoid stupid enrage phase. That's a nice hair,
Yep.
Andy.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Already done with Hera.
So Duck is gonna head. He's a save and quit up to Death Mountain. He's gonna use the sword buffers with the boots to buffer through the wall to kind of wrap himself up to the top of Death Mountain and walk into Hera Palace proper, or tower. I don't know, Hera Lookout, whatever you want to call it. Andy is now going to head back down to. He's gonna actually be heading on the way to Thieves Town.
Excuse me? Thank you.
He wants to get himself a sweet new toy. He wants to get the mitt so he can get himself a tempered sword so he's not doing fighter sword damage to everything. So this is kind of like the errand portion. You want to get the tempered sword so you can kind of make the rest of the dungeons nice and easy. This one is actually a pretty vanilla style. I mean, outside of the fact that he just completely mucked up the entire Dark World here and just threw himself off Death Mountain. This is the only way to get into the Dark World without killing Aga and without having the mitts. So,
Thankfully, Thieves Town isn't really that much different with a fighter sword compared to a master sword like you'd normally have. Some of the enemies you won't kill by dashing through them, but the boss is exactly the same. It's very nice.
Yeah, generally we're just kind of running right by the enemies anyway, so we don't really care that they're dead or not dead because we're past them.
Yeah. The only really bad room is like Blind Cell because the enemies are just there. There's no avoiding them pretty much.
and the hammer hitbox is like notoriously useless.
Yeah.
The hammer will do tempered sword damage, but like if you can't hit them, it doesn't matter. And they all do 2 hearts of damage, so I mean you're 3 shot in this entire dungeon. So a little scarier, but the boss also takes normal damage from fighter sword swing. So although not
Yes.
a
Nice
not too bad.
bonk.
These stunts should be a fairly consistent split, but it can just decide to kill you.
Oh, you mean all dungeons in the category?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice hellway, Andy.
Thanks.
That hellway can be really, really trolly if you ever play the game at all. All those Patrick stars can just get in the way and you just can't kill them. So you're just
And there's a
stuck waiting
fire
for them.
snake in there that also sucks. And there's just the anti-fairy at the top, the icing on the cake. great.
So remember we said like this dungeon's fine, except for it's just filled with garbage you have to deal with all the time?
Yeah, these little like grasshopper goblin things can also be a little bit of a pain just because your sword is smaller. You can get like frame rolled by them way easier. Or they hit you while you're dashing by. And they also do 2 hearts of damage.
Everything in this dungeon is like, yeah, it does this, and then it also just kills you, so.
Yep.
So just all the bosses are going to do this to me today. And then,
Just wants a
oh
hug.
boy, jeez.
This room is the only room that's actually different because we don't have a glove yet. So we have to actually kill all these enemies to go this way.
I'm really, really glad that you used that bomb strat. Also really glad you got electrolyted by that jelly.
I know, right? Okay, we're gonna play this a little safe. All 3 of them are in the same cell.
Sweet party. Alright, now that Andy has his maiden, aka blind, she's gonna take her, get herself to the bed, and then take her to the boss room to conveniently have a rumble. You know, that get a pretty good Hera as well. A little trolley on the boss fight there.
Yeah, except for the rest of it was pretty good. Moldorm was doing his thing.
As he has one to do. If you're unfamiliar with this fight, Andy's going to bring Blind in here. It is a scripted fight, 9 shots with the sword in 3 different phases. So Andy's going to do the same script by holding the sword out, giving him the poke. It takes 9 hits no matter what style of damage you want to do, so pick your poison.
And if you like to eat it on one of these bosses, really help out the stream here.
I'm gonna wait for something really insane to, take him down. If you die,
I'll just die to Trinex. That's like the one boss that I died to on good pace.
Also, like
the only boss you shouldn't ever die to.
All right, Duck's gonna make his way through the front half, or the back half here of Blind. We're gonna be on the cutscene, so Sakura, if you have like a donation or 2, go for it.
Absolutely. We have a $25 donation from Silent Dis, which says, Bark Park represent. Go Andy, duck for dinner. Keep up the great work, GDQ. And we also have a $25 donation from Captain Novelin, which reads, hey, apathyduck, Captain Novelin here. I'm sure this run will be sweet, but not too sweet.
That is my favorite thing I've ever read.
What the?
Ever heard? That's fantastic.
Okay. I'm probably gonna die here. I'm like trapped in hell with these crickets. What is happening?
That was something.
It was technically my fault at the beginning there, but then like it just spiraled out of control.
And you're really showing off that all dungeons can really crush you here. All right, Andy is over here. He's going to get his tempered sword, but he's going to take a quick pit stop using Frog Door to go get himself the book. He's going to need that later to grab the Ether Medallion.
For exactly one thing. Great.
Thieves Town, can we not? Holy.
Keep it together, Ducker. You're going to be great.
Remember I said Thieves Town can just decide to kill you? Yeah, well, my name has come up on the Wheel of Destiny, apparently. We're getting this. We're getting this hard.
Nice. So, I think in this category, we have to get Ether because there is no real way to get into Mire at all without it in this category, I believe. So it's still one of those final things. It's like, if we could do that in Mire, it would be great. We could skip Ether, or same thing for Swamp. We have a couple of rooms we need the flippers for. So close, but no cigar. Like this whole category is like pod is kind of a glitch thing where you get to see the true strength of the category, and then these two splits after that are just very vanilla style. We'll be ramping up after the Skullwood segment. We're gonna be ramping up the glitches quite nicely. So Duck decided also to kiss that berry. Very nice of you to show solidarity with Andy. I appreciate that.
Lord almighty. This dungeon would have killed me if I didn't stop for like 18 hearts at this point.
So the showcase here is that Andy is showcasing what happens if the category goes right for you, and Helma gives you good patterns, and Duck is showing you what it looks like in the bottom of the dumpster.
Yeah, there's a reason this category is nicknamed All Disasters, and I am having all of them.
That's right. Now we're seeing alternative strats. Fantastic.
Couple bonus disasters too.
You've had some stuff I haven't never seen before.
Don't get the bonus disasters too often.
Andy dealing with Link to the Past's actual worst room in the game. That mummy way is a pain. Guiding those Gibbos around is miserable. So
yeah, sometimes you think you kind of have control over how they move, and then sometimes it's just like, no, we're not going to do what you think we're going to do, and we're going to ruin your day.
The best order is like when one of them just camps on the statue and you can't move them at all, no matter how many times you slash them.
Oh, that's a good one. What's great when that happens after you get stuck, mummy.
Oh yeah, perfect. He's the false prophet. Andy kind of showcasing something we glossed over in both, I think, another bomb jump, where if you have a bomb there and you sidle up within 2 pixels of the edge, the bomb explosion will pop you over the ledge. So something we abuse a couple times, I think 3 times over here for the duration of the run.
Is there another one? I think that's the last one.
Well, it might be 2
I guess there's one more in Meyer.
There's the one in Meyer, some will do. And
One's a little different.
No, I was thinking Ice Palace bomb jump, but we don't do that anymore because
who's the old boy now?
You know, all the way back in 2019 when we used to do Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah, I know, right? Dark times.
Now we do faster, cooler things like Icebreaker.
I didn't get grabbed by the hand in Skullwoods this time.
No crats.
Oh, and lifted to the sky there.
Yeah, and then you just sit there until he comes back down. It was really dumb. I just lost 40 seconds in Skullwoods against Greenham yesterday.
And you're just over here like, well, look how much good RNG I'm getting. This category's easy. Meanwhile, I'm like...
That was a heck of a pattern, Andy, on that moth.
I'm surprised that last hit worked.
Did he get a 10 out of 10 too?
No.
No, not quite. 9.5. One spike disappeared.
Yeah, might as well just pack it up, Andy.
I am going to plotarmor.com after this and buying some. Let me tell you. Get some of that good.
Alright, so Duck's gonna finish up his errands. Andy's in the cutscene, so I think that's a good cue for another donation.
We have a $75 donation from Philion that reads, I love this game, I love this category, I love all these streamers. Duck, I swear I'll learn this run someday.
About to call him out too. So.
And we have a $1,000 donation from Gryffindor that reads, had to donate during Andy and Duck's all dungeon race with Saku hosting. Thank you so much for the awesome donation.
Heck of a donation, that's awesome. So Andy's saving quitting back up here. He's going to do the very same screen ramp he did before, except for he's going to do the scenic route, and I think that's a soft lock for my bud here.
Yep.
Yeah, if you... yeah, if you
been a little high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was surprised that happened.
I am also surprised that happened. It looked really weird. So, take 2. First try every time here. He got it. There's a lot of clips like that. You can get soft lock pretty easily just by one input wrong when you hit the ground. But this is kind of the errand portion before we go to desert. Andy's going to go and get himself the book, and then he's going to go get Zora's slippers because they're close. And if you're thinking,
look at that book I have.
Andy's got to get the Ether Medallion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then he's going to go over to Zora's River to get himself the Zora's Flippers.
But Lanx, Zora's River's not on Death Mountain.
Oh, really? Great question. That wasn't a question. So now we're going to head over to East Death Mountain here. And just yeet himself off the mountain. Get himself some nice muddy brown Death Mountain textures on this Zora's River. This is how you saw it when you were a kid. And go get himself the flippers for the one dungeon we did it for.
Amazingly, the clouds in this game are actually water tiles. It's like the devs knew.
They're like, in 30 years, some schmucks are going to sit here and glitch the heck out of this game.
I swear, some of this stuff feels plain with like how it just lines up perfectly.
Doc, you're having a pretty nice Skullwoods there, bud.
One of these had to be okay.
You're on the up and up, bud. Just don't softlock in this next one. You're going to see you're going to be gaining some time on Andy.
By the way, thanks for saying that before I fight Moth.
I got nothing for you. Sorry, bud.
Okay, well, there we go.
Look at that. 9.5 out of 10.
Thanks for giving me the half. Appreciate it.
He stuck the landing, dude.
God.
So Andy's going to try to set up a nice bomb clip here over this wall. That bomber is going to do all he possibly can to get him out of the way. Nice clip. Actually, Andy's going to do something here that we have not really discussed yet. It's called a teleport. Well, Andy's going to try to do a teleport here. I won't get too crazy into it, but if using the boost, you can do one frame inputs to get into the slope there. Depending on where you end up, you hit the kind of down into the slope, and it'll snap you either up or snap you either down. We use that a couple more times over the run to get to some places we're not supposed to. That teleport skips the flute entirely, making it completely obsolete.
Yeah, no saluting. Sorry, guys.
There will be no anthem today. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, the bomb clip I did earlier was actually a teleport. We just can't do that dash clip method inside dungeons. That's why the bomb clips were so valuable to find. The Andy sword clip was a teleport as well, just a different way of getting onto that pixel.
Andy doing really nice, and he was showcasing that you can teleport up as well as down.
Well, yeah, depending upon where you are in the wall, you can force a downward teleport once you cause the collision detection to try to force you out. Up is also useful, just not where I was.
Just giving you a nice scoot northward.
Yep. Oh, I'm up here now.
Citrus.
We don't want to get the power gloves here. That would actually downgrade our Titan's mitts. Not that that's a huge deal in this run, but
I'm trying to think. Do we use the Titan's mitts after this once?
You would be forced to mirror wrap to Ice Palace.
Of which both runners will be doing anyways, I think?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how many more disasters I have before then, but that's the plan.
When we get to the Ice Palace Mirrors wrap that they're talking about, that is a pretty easy trick to do, but also incredibly easy to mess up and lose. Somewhere to the around of 15 minutes in the run, if you fail it.
Shout out to Swerb.
So that's Josh.
Swerve's even stronger than mine plot armor.
Andy deciding to skip every arrow in existence.
I have 20. We're fine.
Gotta go for the GT gold, man.
All right, so Andy's going to do it incredibly overpowered against Lanmos. You can do as little as one cycle this fight. Sometimes they give you some really bad hops, or you just completely whiff fire rod shots. Not saying you did, but I'll let the chat decide whether or not this is going to be bad. So
that was not a great desert segment.
You've had better. That's right. So now we are setting up to go to the next technical part of the run. This is where glitching kind of ramps up a bit in the category. we're heading over to Mire. So the purpose of Mire here is one, to complete Mire and get yourself the crystal, kill Vitreous, etc., etc. But what we're going to do, a little bit of a shopping detour in the middle of this. We're going to use a bomb clip to pop ourselves over into Hera, which in fact then we can do another clip to get ourselves over to Swamp Palace to get ourselves the hook shot, so that when we actually go to Swamp Palace, we can skip the entire west wing of that entire dungeon, saving us a bunch of time. I don't know exactly how much time it is, but it's fantastic. You don't have to do that entire left side because it is boring.
I got a stair turn lengths. Does that count?
No, have you guys gotten any yet at all?
I keep forgetting. Even though I'm miles behind, I might as well just be like going for them.
Can someone in chat just like fire up the game and do a chest turn so I can donate something to this cause, please?
Here, I'm gonna get one for you right here.
Oh baby, you're gonna go for the worst one to get it on?
Yep. There you go.
To the right?
Yep. I wanted to turn in the worst possible direction for the worst possible chest turn.
Oh, perfect.
There, I kind of did it.
Oh god. I love the 2-time on that.
That's a 50-cent one, Lynx. Save you some money.
The reason that we didn't do the Hera clip over to Swamp earlier in the run when we were in Hera is because you didn't have enough keys. You need a key to get into the back of Swamp that we're going to be at. So we're going to use one of the many keys that's in Misery Mire to actually abuse this mechanic. And are you going to be doing a bomb clip or a sword clip over to Swamp, Andy?
Bomb from Mire to Hera, sword from Hera to Swamp.
Okay, so yeah, Andy's showcasing there's only 2 locations pretty much in the entire run where the bomb clip doesn't actually save you time if you do it optimally. Since Andy comes from a darker timeline where you had to do sword clips for everything.
The 1700s.
It was like a plague when he was from too, so it's nuts. Holy moly, nice bomb jump, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, so what you see in there, I was like, normally I like take all my opportunity to trash talk Andy, but that's an incredibly difficult set of inputs you have to do to make sure that bomb clip works out, or that bomb jump works well. So, a pretty good one in that.
Yeah. Thank apathyduck for the easier setup.
It's not me. Oh, the diagonal. Yeah, I guess Zero Rush is actually the one who all kind of. We all were like looking at it and it was like only stays like 6 seconds. We're all like, lol, no. And then Zero's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he kind of made it RTA viable and then kind of shamed the rest of us into going for it. So here we are. Shoutouts to Zero Rush. Zero really pushed this category forward when he picked it up. He learned a bunch of new stuff. The Zora's DMD that I did was a Zero Rush as well.
Yeah, nice sword clip, Andy. Yeah, it's like if you follow this category at all, several different people have come out and assisted in creation of a pretty thorough tutorial on the game right now. So this is probably the best time that it's ever been to pick up this category because there's so many resources and so many people pouring a ton of time into learning a lot of this run, because it is a really fun run, very challenging, and kind of flexes your ability to play the game. So
there's also a pretty nice like safety route where like normally like Helmasaur is a very terrible wall in this, but you can get silver arrows if you want to before Helmasaur to make the Helmasaur fight really easy.
Yeah,
so it's not just like it's not a good players only category anymore.
Yeah, no, it is like one of the strengths of Link to the Past is that even its NMG category and this one have a nice level of safety to it. So you're absolutely right. It makes the run a lot more fun and accessible.
And because we kind of like changed the dungeon order in this, like the early dungeons sure are a lot harder. But the later dungeons become easier because you just have more hearts than you would in an NMG run. Like Ice Palace is a big wall for a lot of people, but we have a lot of hearts in it in this run because we're doing it next to last.
Yeah. So, and you also don't have to do the Ice Palace bomb jump anymore. Which...
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Yeah. I mean, Andy did the old hover. That's not just a swag. That saves about 2 seconds. Mostly, not a ton of time in the room he did it in. but it saves time later in the dungeon when he gets to use sword beams. Well, he would have if he did lose the hearts on it.
Yeah, I took damage. So the second strat that saves for, I will not be doing. But all right, Lance gets to explain this.
Oh yeah,
garbage.
So I'll explain this in a small way. Andy, you saw Andy throw a Samaria block into the void. That's going to set up an ancillary glitch known as Spooky Action Glitch. I won't.
I've already lost you.
Oh god, yeah. I'm not going to go crazy. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to watch Andy fire a fire rod into the anti-fairy, and it's going to hit a switch off screen. That's all you need to know. Don't ask any more questions. I will not be taking any more at this time.
What's an ancilla?
Can someone mute Duck, please?
It took longer than I thought to get there.
Yeah. If you would like to in-depth on that, you can talk to Glenn or don't ask any questions. That's all I got for you. No one really understands. If they say they do, they're lying to you.
Mine's just going to talk to you about Moe and Winky, though. So, Glenn, how does Ancilla work? Because Moe says it can.
All right, so I'll kill the guy. Nice adventurous fight. Pretty a lot easier in this category because you have a lot more hearts. You're gonna notice that Duck is doing bonks. These bonks are on purpose to either set up an X pixel or a Y pixel. Duck's gonna go for a different strategy here. He's went for the bomb clip, which is actually pretty quick. That could be pretty difficult because it's sub-pixel dependent. Which just means that you have to know a couple different setups to get it done. He made it look really easy. Nice bomb clip.
Thanks.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You can keep going.
I was just saying that trick right there is one of the biggest hurdles that new runners have with this category, and like it only saves like 40 seconds, so it's not. There's really only like 4 or 5 like quote unquote route activators in this category that you really need to know to like kind of have your run look like this. And there's a lot of tricks that you can just skip because they're just time saves.
Yep. So now Andy is going to be heading out of Misery Mire, and he's going to flip out of here.
What?
Oh yes, getting hit by the ghost of Misery Mire.
Oh my god, I cannot clip today.
Andy, should I link you the teleporting tutorial, or?
Dude, come on. Oh, I got hit by the worm and lottoed by the. Oh my god.
There's your
going into swamp with 3 hearts.
Good luck, Andy, please, Andy. Duck showcasing the other strategy in that room. Falling off. Definitely didn't try to hover.
Nope. Like, the dust was a lie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So while we're doing this, Saku, you have time for probably 1 or 2 donations.
Perfect. We have a $100 donation from Mad Mac, which reads, Zelda is by far the series closest to my heart, and I love being able to donate to help get PPE for people on the front lines during these times. I also have a $25 donation from Mita, which reads, if GDQ has taught me anything, it is horribly unfair that Andy doesn't have crowd control on.
God,
I would love to see you
that'd be one way for Duck to catch up.
I want to see you battle Swerve with crowd control on, and he doesn't.
Oh God.
All right. So Andy's going to be able to skip to the west wing of Swamp Palace. He's going to grab a key. He's going to go north. He's going to actually do a new glitch to this category. Recently discovered a couple months ago now, called Diver Down. I think that's what we're calling it. Holy Diver, something weird.
Something.
Yeah, he's going to use the incredibly broken Samaria block to kind of go past these. Basically, he's going to. The game only registers if you jump into the water. If you have stairs, he's going to get into the water a different way. So it's just going to completely ignore the fact that there's water down there, and he's going to dash to the door and not have to lower the water level. Nicely done.
Thanks. Yeah, it's very cool. New glitch. You're gonna see another very cool new glitch in Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, both of these things save several seconds, and so the Diver Down one kind of just saves you an annoying water draining sequence, but the Ice Palace one really saves you some really annoying rooms and some of the tougher rooms in Ice Palace. And actually, some runners will actually opt to get the blue mail as well as an additional safety in the middle of the run. Good luck, Argus.
I know no one's watching because I'm behind by 2 minutes. I had a really nice mire. Throw a little attention. Planks.
Nice job, buddy.
I'm watching you.
All right, Sakura, you watch Duck.
Everyone else watching.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Yeah, me and Sokka just hang out in the back with Coffee Crisp. It's fine. Whoop. Okay, don't watch me now.
Whoa, Duck. All right, please don't. Okay. All right. So while we gotta gear up for the longest cutscene of the game, and Duck makes this overworld looks fantastic and doesn't get hit by things. We could do another.
For that arrow, I just.
Dude, don't talk to me. We weren't watching. We could do another couple donations, Saku.
All right, cool. We have a $250 donation from When Life Hands You Lemons that reads, "This donation is in support of all essential employees and all who are on the front lines during this pandemic, especially my mom, who works overnight in a busy ER. Thanks, Andy and Duck." Smiley face. Also, we have a $25 donation from YouGamer81 that reads, "I always love catching the Link to the Past races at GDQ, and best of luck to the runners. You got this, Andy. Let's beat this virus, and let's beat this Super Mario Odyssey bonus game incentive."
All right, so Andy is going to go for something very difficult. This is the Ice Palace mirror wrap here. This is what happens when you do this really weird setup of getting up there with a teleport. And if you use the mirror on the same frame as you transition, it'll wrap you like kind of a screen and a half over, roughly. So that's what you saw. That's the clip that if you fail, you will.
It was 15 minutes.
Yes, because the last time you save and quit was before Desert, and just a hard lock of the game. So that was a really, really nice, very, very slick mirror wrap here, which means that now he's going to be going for the icebreaker clip. He's going to be using the Scan of Samaria to come out of this doorway and enable kind of a door state. If you've ever played this game, when you walk through a door, it kind of pulls you through the door. If you were walking left or right, even if you press up or down, it'll still pull you through the door. What he did there with Cane of Samaria was trick that wall there to think that he could walk through out of a door state, and it walks him straight through that barrier, I guess we'll call it. Some people frown on me calling it a wall. Duck actually could. I know we're not showing you love, Duck, but that was a really nice swamp palace that we're looking at. You had a really nice exit mire. You didn't get hit by things. You did a really nice clip.
It's because I shot the arrow of good fortune. Strat.
Very nice chest turns. Wait.
Unfortunately, there's 0 chests for me to open, and I guess I opened 1 chest in Ice Palace, but...
And you did nothing with it.
Andy, while you're waiting for me to finish, just open up the practice hack and just start chest turning on just over and over again.
Oh, so I'm going to owe $4 instead of $2 for what he's going to get.
Hey, the cold stare practice before this paid off.
Can you imagine practice paying off?
No, it's a crazy concept.
I had 2 practice goals there, so I'm gonna die. Yo, I just wrote this name. This name is the problem.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. While we're doing this, we have another donation or 2. They're both in a crystal cutscene.
We have a $5 donation from Dr. Dejrewski. Wanted to see if we could get a $5 train going for the awesome banter between Duck, Lanx, and Andy. What do you think, Chai?
Choo-choo!
We also have a $100 donation.
What was that?
You got this, Duck. Do it for all the corn dog and PBR lovers out there. Shout out to all the essential workers saving lives every day.
So corn dog lovers and PBR drinkers, so just Duck? Thanks. It's glad to know.
Yeah, my own fan club. I actually was donating that.
That's a nice rap as well. And he missed. Goddamn.
There we go.
So, Doug, what trains have you been on that go boop?
The best one. The modern trains, not your old steam trains.
That's a train fueled by corn dogs and PBR. That's what that is. Andy, instead of bombing this, he's going to decide to teleport into it, showcasing that he still knows how to do the upwards teleports.
Yeah, my bomb count is 1 low. We need 2 more bombs for us to run, and so I would rather just do that than have to get a backup bomb somewhere else.
That is a very good idea. Duck also used opting to save a bomb by Kanasumara blocking that as well.
Again, dude!
Do you know the inputs for that, or is someone going to show you?
Pressing right first doesn't always work, I guess.
Yeah. Can I get a volunteer in the chat to come help Andy out? Nice second try clip there, Duck.
Dude, what?
You keep moving up right at the end there. Andy's just giving you time back. You wanted to give me time to explain the fact that we're going to do another mirror round.
Oh my god.
Right now, and Duck just did a nice swaggy stair clip there. But Andy's going to be going up here, dropping himself into the portal here after going into Hera, and he's going to teleport himself up the mountain and do a nice mirror wrap into Turtle Rock. This does 2 things. One, it means that we don't have to go get Quake at all. That's a time loss. And then we also get to go into the back door of Turtle Rock. So kind of making the whole routing of the dungeon very easily. So all you need to go, you don't need the mirror shield from that spot. So you just kind of go in, grab what you need, done, grab the big key, and go right to Trinex. Actually, shout outs to apathyduck, who found a very consistent and very easy setup for that you just saw to make that clip a lot smoother.
One of my accidental finds. I found it by showing to people what would happen if you did it in the wrong spot. I'm like, see, you get stuck here. And all of a sudden I jumped. I'm like, what? It's just, like, I guess this is the new way to do it now. Never mind.
Yeah, the how did this happen, the apathyduck story.
Yeah.
It also works out really nicely because we used to have to line up against the transition, and if you didn't do it incorrectly and transitioned in the wrong spot, if you weren't prepared for it, you would just get stuck.
Yeah.
And so it makes it immensely safer as well as faster, which is pretty uncommon in this game.
Yeah, especially mirrors are BS, man. They're so garbage.
There was a slightly slower version of that clip that I was actually doing for a couple runs before I found the better version. And I was doing that because of just how much safer it was. And then we found the thing I found would literally only saved 30 frames, but it was enough to make it optimal and then just forced everyone to do it.
So now Duck's going to be go getting his ice rod. Andy's going to be kind of bringing himself through here. Just going to get the big key. That is the sole purpose of being in Turtle Rock. Duck, you're showing that the hardest thing in this game is to use optimal swimming.
We only have one swim in this category besides that little one.
It's the worst swim.
We decided to make it the worst swim ever.
Nice chest turn there, Andy.
Oh right, I
Thanks.
can't even go for him. my little brain can't handle it, Lynx.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What is happening? What happened?
I needed pretty much a pixel perfect cane dash stop there, and I did not get that.
Yeah, I was really afraid that the Samaria block was going to hit the pokey and that was just going to come bounce you to death.
Wouldn't be the first time I died to that pokey in a GDQ run.
You have an intimate relationship here with Turtle Rock.
Oh.
Probably one of the more dangerous places here is the Turtle Rock. The boss here everything does 4 hearts of damage to you, so you have to really, really watch out. Make sure your movement's solid. Nice fight, Andy. But the scary part about that is that you try to get the double spin on Trinex, but you kind of get locked out of slashing your sword for about a second. So the timing on that, you can just whiff that and he can eat you right up. So I'm done holding my breath. You're alive. While Duck is making his way through the back of Turtle Rock. So,
Man, if those clips had gone well, I could have beat Duck's PB with the file name Honk, and it would have been the icing on the cake.
You have that good of a run?
Can you imagine talking trash before being done at him? Could you imagine?
No. I don't even know if PB can happen anymore. I've been minus 42 different times.
Yikes. Oh my goodness.
I mean, besides Pod and Thieves Town, honestly, this run has been pretty solid for me.
That is pretty much like what how all dungeons works. Like it's like you have one or two absolute horrific disasters.
What major is going to go wrong in this run?
Yeah, whenever we posted
we actually joked about that yesterday.
Everyone posts like, well, besides this one travesty I had, it was actually pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
That one travesty was like 4-minute time loss. It's like, look at this 116. That's pretty decent, guys. Everyone's like, yeah.
And he's gonna showcase like he's gonna do the clip down at the clip onto Hera there, but he's not gonna go into Hera. He's actually gonna hit the portal from this weird screen here. So he's gonna try to just wrap straight into Anna's tower right here, and please don't soft lock this one because that one's way worse. Nicely done, Andy.
Oh, wait, shout outs to TGH on that peg puzzle.
Dude,
I told my shot. I had a good one though, but
oh my god,
I'd not TGH it.
Oh, the poor guy. Andy decided to be a hero here. You could take the old man kisses right before this thing to get full hearts, or he's going to go in here 8 hearts.
Dude, not only that, but I get mini helmet key too.
Oh, Andy's just flexing on people.
I'm the biggest idiot in the Link to the Past speaker in the community.
He's like, all I have to do to win this race is not majorly screw up. How could I possibly seal this thing away? Make this as difficult as possible and give up tons of hearts.
Just making it exciting, man.
Let me guess, in Mimic's room, you're going to take 3 hearts of damage too.
The Boyne.
Y'all are absolutely nuts.
At least on the helmet key's not too bad because there's a 0 heart backup that's not too bad. Like you just shouldn't main it if you're doing it every time. You should just get the torch key. But in a marathon like this, it's not scary to go for helmet key because you can just do a backup if you have a venture gauntlet. Now doing mimics.
Yeah, that's not smart.
Clown shoes.
So basically this category means that the rest of this run is going to be fairly vanilla standard here. They have to do the entire of Ganon's Tower because there isn't really a clip that is allowed in this category. There is a way you can clip right up to Ganon, that's Aga 2, but they're not allowed to do it in this category, so that's kind of like a testament to the Have you ever been as lucky as Andy is? Absolutely.
That was the dumbest Armos 2 fight I've ever seen.
Just gonna go say no.
I've never seen a fight go so poorly but end up so well for someone.
I shot an extra one up and it threw off the timing for literally everything.
Duck going for an incredibly risky strat there. Usually on that clip up to GT, you line yourself up with the back of the wall to the right there. It's a little slower but a lot safer. Duck just went for it like a madman.
Just stop on the pixel, man. It's not hard.
I should write that down.
You can put it in there with just press A.
As I was explaining before, Andy decided to punt his Armos fight. One of the real reasons that we're glad that this category we don't have a clip that gets you up to G, because we wanted this to be like a skill, kind of a skill tester at the end of the run. And besides, GT is a lot of fun to do, not while you're doing it, but in theory.
The end of the speedrun should always be difficult.
Speaking of punting, I'm kind of glad this race fan is online, so my console stays on.
Yeah, I mean, considering the last couple dungeons you do in this are fairly difficult to die in, because when Duck was talking about how you just have so many hearts compared to normal for some of those dungeons, and the GT still has a little bit of difficulty, especially when you don't take the old man kisses. Andy showing
both of my Lanmo fights have been. That one was pretty bad RNG, but yeah, still botched it.
It would have been pretty difficult to save a 1 cycle there, but you certainly just kind of hucked a fire rod shot randomly too. So
Yep.
I had a 5 cycle in practice.
Duck, you don't tell people stuff like that.
Oh, speaking of punting, all right, fine.
If you want to play Link to the Past all dungeons, just load these two up right here and show you how you could be lucky too. So I'm gonna say, so Andy and Duck are kind of go up the back half of this dungeon. We can kind of do, I think, 1 or 2 more donations before we get to End of Aga.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a $5 donation from Soldier Hawk that reads, "Thank you for this event. It made the weekend so much brighter. Loving Andy and Duck and the Zelda run. Put this towards Super Mario Odyssey." And reminder, we are about $14,000 away from the Super Mario Odyssey bonus game. If you want to see that game, you have to get those donations in within the next game. Otherwise, you won't be seeing it.
Andy got the aforementioned helmet key. To optimally get that thing, it does take you the spikes and take a lot of damage.
And he exploded apparently right there.
Ooh, Andy with the
I got hacked by Moldworm's big head and somehow had the state of mind to not fall when the controllers rotated 90 degrees.
I have no idea what happened to me in the GT Spike room. I'm pretty sure I was just throwing down the people's eyebrow on stream here. I was so confused. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, that happens like most runs of this game. Just like something weird happens that you're like, huh, I didn't know that could happen.
The motto of a Link to the Past speedruns is that's never happened to me before.
Over and over. Now Andy's gonna fight Aga 2. It's very simple to Aga 1. You're just gonna shoot the energy shots back at him. The main one can be kind of a troll, but the other 2 always shoot balls. So you gotta test your geometry might.
Thank you.
Is that a 4 or a 3?
4. He gave me 2 blue balls.
Nice.
Yeah, so item 2, there's 3 of them. The main one, the first shot he shoots is always a reflectable one, and then from then on it's just a 50-50, where the fake copies of him always shoot the reflectable balls, as Lanxion said. Aghanim 1 is not so nice, but we'll get to that later.
Oh god. One of the true tortures of this run is that towards the end, the major source of RNG for the run.
And no major glitches. This is, like 28, 27 minutes into the run. So it's not terrible. It still sucks. But now it's over an hour into a pretty difficult speed run.
Yeah, when lots can go wrong that you can't account for anyways, and then you just throw this on top. Every runner worth their salt has gone straight from Ganon's tower into the hole of Ganon and forgotten to go into Aga Tower.
Sorry.
Oh, keep going.
I was just saying, especially now, there's a strat where you just walk straight down to get the quick warp, and if you just miss it, you just welcome to Ganon.
Yep. I don't even go for that quick warp.
Oh, there's one on the right side over there. But
I also got that chest turn for you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. If Duck doesn't get it, I'm disowning him or muting him.
It was what's worse than an F minus? I'm racing handy. I gotta hover. Just basically stand on the 1 pixel and then just fall.
Is that Anthony? Is that Andy's secret power? Makes everyone hover and follow them. It's pretty good.
I don't know what powers Andy is wielding right here, but it's nothing good. All right, Lanx, we're gonna get this one for you.
For me?
Nope.
Imagine picking up that chest and also still not getting it.
Who tried though?
I've just been demoted from a Link to the Past speedrunner to a Hello Kitty Island adventure speedrunner with that one. I've been voted off the island. I got taunting me at this bark name.
I guess it's like now is the best time to explain it that we're gonna go to be fighting Aga 1. If you have any thoughts on him, he gives you 1 energy shot his first cycle. And then his next 3 cycles are going to be either 50-50 a blue ball or an energy shot, and then followed by a lightning phase, rinse and repeat. You can get anywhere between 0 and 15 blue balls. You could lose a ton of time here. Let's hope Andy look good.
I think that pretty safe because I was on 1 health.
We're off to a good start.
Perfect game.
All right.
Dang, I have a chance. Look, I'm only like 3 Ganon falls behind. We'll be fine.
And is the worst way to measure time?
The rando standard unit of time.
It's like, well, guys, if he gets hit by 3 trident spins and does a swan dive straight to the bottom of the pyramid.
Oh, come on, man.
We're fine.
Duck, I was just talking about it in Andy's thing, how you're incredibly overpowered in this dungeon. Please.
Did he have more than 1 heart? Out of curiosity, because I have 1 heart.
That sounds like a you problem, not an Andy
It's
problem.
very much a me problem.
Alright, 4 blue balls.
So the average amount of blue balls for a normal NMG run is 3. The average run blue balls runs for an all dungeons run is probably around a 6.
It certainly feels like it. Yeah, kind of the joke is like you play the run for an hour and all you did is bought yourself a lottery ticket to see if you actually PB. Just wait at the deli counter of your number.
So Andy gets to actually fight Ganon at the end of this run. Actually, this is a much safer fight than it does in the normal energy category because you get a full heart refill right before going to fight him. So you can afford to take some damage. And with the fire rod, since they're not going to be using the hook shot against them, they're not going to be using iframes. So they're going to either bonk or take damage a different way. So good luck on Ganon, Andy.
We're just taking this a little safe here. Alright, we're fine.
But Duck's making his way up. Hopefully he doesn't get too beaten up. It is possible in these first 2 phases for Andy to get 1 and 1 cycle on each of these to push him to this 3rd phase where he's going to be collapsing the edge of the room. So you only have to slash him once in each of these. The good thing that Andy didn't screw up the Helma's too bad because that does, the Armos is too bad early because it does affect the fire bat RNG he has here, which was still pretty good. So
Who'd screw up Helma?
yeah, someone. Now Andy's
Hey,
gonna,
that's just a throwback to Duck.
I'm gonna need you to get a welcome to my RNG after this, and you're gonna send me flowers in the mail for what happened to me.
Yeah, so Andy's making pretty short work of our boy Ganon over here. Getting 12 spins on him to close out this thing because he does not have the silver arrows, so we don't need him in this category or any category really.
That's 100%.
Step 100% Andy, thank you.
What was that about blue balls, Lynx?
We don't have to talk about him. That was a nice run, Andy. Andy taking down the pig.
And time.
I thought you were referring to me as the pig. I was like, what?
You are, well, we'll call it a
Pig?
double entendre. How many blue balls you got over there, Duck?
3.
Oh, God.
Out of 4 so
He's
far.
in the chat for Andy. Nicely
4.
run. Oh, I didn't know you were a rando guy. I didn't know you were counting out blue balls. This is nice.
I got nothing else to do, man. But sit here and think about what's happened to me.
Can you believe that this was all started by a Death Futon tweet?
What did you both? You both submitted like an hour and a half before this run even started, before the thing you could have started. And you were like, hey, does anyone want to race me? And Duck was like, man, I am so excited to play this game. I'll race you, Andy.
Just putting it right on a platter for you, man.
Nice plot armor, Andy.
Yeah. Woo!
So Duck is gonna finish up his pig fight. I think we're both underestimating, right?
I'm probably right around it.
Yeah, we were very tight with this estimate.
Yeah.
Duck was like, "You want to do 120?" And I'm like, "Nah, who gets over a 115 nowadays?"
Shout outs to 90% of runners.
It's not like one horrible thing can happen making it plus 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, so let's get the good energy, the good feels for in chat for Duck's Ganon fight. Power him through this thing. You did that swaggy walk through the fire.
Yeah,
nice.
It's not really dangerous in this category.
And then get hit by the battle and then away you go. North.
That was on purpose because I don't like beams. Although I don't have audio right now, so it doesn't bother me.
It's alright, you're saving lag frames.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Alright, well, this is going to be a minute.
Oh yeah, another major source of RNG for this run is that Ganon can warp infinite amount of times.
I think I got 6 warps.
It was something not too bad.
I think I've gotten 6 warps each round.
About what? The most we've seen, about 33? 38, Andy? What is it?
37.
Oh boy.
That was all between. That was all before the first hit.
Yeah, but that was incredible. Wasn't that Game Saver was causing issues?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I've got some bad lore then.
The darker timeline. You want to hit the torch there, bud.
Hey, you want to explain how that mid left RNG is the hardest one to go for, Lynx? So I don't look like a jerk?
No, I don't. No, I was going to let you die out there. No, so anyone who can get 3 hits on each cycle of this has actually showed some very, very good promise into the fight. It's a very difficult fight, and I'm giving Duck a lot of trash for it. GG's in the chat, please, for apathyduck. It's outside of that one pretty big disaster, and as it usually is. Sound. Yeah, it was a really good.
Was a oof.
It was a pretty good run.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Down the back chest, there was a couple memes, but
yeah.
So, Lynx, what do you owe? $2? You literally owe $2.
I think it's like $6, dude.
I got two chest turns. One on a terrible chest in Mire, and then the easiest one in Agatower.
Oh, I turned left one time. That's the 50 cents. So
you take one away because I watched Andy do a dance and then miss the chest turn on Eastern.
I can take one away.
Yeah,
this is for cherry lights. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna round it up to at least like $30 or something, guys. I said 2 because I thought you guys were gonna be good at this game.
You, sir. We're wrong.
I'll take this opportunity to thank everyone for kind of like letting us do this. Kind of like I'll let Duck kind of discuss it a little bit on the. We do have a nice a tournament. If you like this game, like this category, there's an All Dungeons tournament going on right now. We're in brackets. Both these runners are in those brackets. I mean, nothing you saw here showcases how good they are, but I mean. I promise you,
there are better people than us in the tournament. Also, yes. if that's your style.
Sure. Like this category has really seen a lot of movement in the last couple of months. A lot because of the tournament, new runners finding stuff, Yuzu finding stuff. So like I said, there's a new tutorial out, and we're having the tournament right now. So you can join the Discord and you can find us there if you want to come out and watch more of this stuff. Like I said, all 3 of us are still in it. So it'll be going on for a couple more weeks at least, but it's a really fun time. I'm really glad to see this category get pushed as hard as it was. Just since the beginning of the tournament, the leaderboards have doubled in size, and like the world records come down by a minute and a half or something crazy like that. So it's a fun time for this category. It's a fun category, a little different than just NMG, but you still like play the game. It's not like full glitches. So if you wanna come watch, you wanna come learn it. A lot of people who are willing to help. So
message any of us. We'll help you out with that for sure.
Yeah, just at Andy for all your All Dungeons questions. He's really the guru, as you can see by this run right here. We all ask him for advice and help.
Sadly, I would not have cut your PB if you take out those 3 soft locks, but it would have been close.
What'd you end up getting?
1:12:24.
That's still pretty good for what happened.
I lost 1 minute and 18 seconds to soft locks.
The helmet
Probably.
diff was like 3 for me because I had to go get the arrows and everything too. It was pretty rough.
That's a pretty bad death. That's like one of the worst deaths to take in this category, honestly.
Yeah. So, I think that's it for me at least.
Yeah. Thank you, GDQ, for having us. Thanks for supporting all the essential workers out there, people in the chat donating. Yeah,
pretty great. Thank you so much, guys. And
Fun
this was Link to the Past. We'll see you guys later.
And thank you so much to apathyduck and Andy for that awesome Link to the Past all dungeons speedrun. Fantastic run by both the runners. We had a few donations come in during that run. We had a $20 donation from GG donating for the apathyduck Hello Kitty Island Adventure Incentive. I mean, Mario Odyssey. We also had a $25 donation from Tequila Do, which reads, "Great cause, great runs, go duck go." We had a $100 donation from Lycotic that reads, "Love me some Link to the Past." Me too. I may be familiar with that game. Tiny bit. We had a $100 donation from Jesus reading, "GDQ rules, amazingly fun Zelda speedrun." We have a $100 donation from Ian Strachan reading, "This definitely isn't how I played Link to the Past as a kid. I'm fortunate enough to still have a job, so here's some money to help those in need right now." We had a $25 donation from Sagging Rufus, which reads, "Let's go all dungeons hype. We've all heard of the $5 train. Let's get a $25 train going to get these frontline workers the protective equipment they need." Alright, and looks like we are doing a quick screen restart, and this will be the end of my hosting shift. I will be back later for the Kingdom Hearts 2 run, so see you then! And we'll throw to a quick Twitch ad break.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to CRDQ, Corona Relief Done Quick, powered by Twitch. I'm Cartridge Blowers, and I'm going to be with you here for the next couple games, Super Mario Bros. 3 and, of course, Mario Odyssey, which should be coming up as soon as we meet that donation incentive. I'll talk about that in just 1 second. Let me read a donation or two here, as you guys are waiting on some more hot speedrun action. I'm going to give you a big one here. We've got a $4,000 donation from JDW, who says, this isn't a $4,000 donation. It's $805 donations on behalf of those who can't afford it due to job loss. Solidarity is everything right now. Let this crisis remind us that we're all human, we're all vulnerable, and we all need each other. And for those of you struggling right now, in the words of friend to GDQ, GlitchCat7, you matter, your thoughts matter, your heart matters, your feelings matter, and you matter to other people in your life, and you matter to me. Matter to yourself. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, JDW. I want to throw a shout out to one of our sponsors really quick. Actually, no, let me read some more donations. Sorry. No, there it is. Okay. Throw a shout out to... Okay. I wanted to talk to you about NIS America, who is sponsoring CRDQ. They've got Pretty 1 and 2 Exploded and Reloaded coming fall 2020 to the Nintendo Switch. It's 2 action-packed chapters of Pretty's rise to becoming a hero, now with newly remastered graphics. The limited edition is available on the NISA online store and major retailers like Amazon, Best Buy, and GameStop. This is only the physical version of the game. It comes with a limited edition art book, 1-disc official soundtrack, the building block set, poster, all in one cool collector's box. It'll also be available separately on the Nintendo eShop for digital download. You can find out about all of that at http://prinnies.com. That's PRINNIES.com.
How many years have I waited for the one they called of light. If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. Become what you must. Become the warrior of darkness.
All right, got a couple more donations here for you as we get set up for Super Mario Bros. 3. From Alex146, we got $25 donation that says, "Let's get that Odyssey bonus run. Woohoo!" Thank you, Alex. We got a $20 donation from Lord Molecule. "I'd like to give a shout out to Lady Adam for keeping us healthy and safe." Absolutely. Thank you, Lady Adam. You did it. $30 donation from Lulu. "Glad I am lucky enough to be able to still donate during this trying time. Let's get those donations in towards Super Mario Odyssey. We can do it for charity." You know, we keep talking about Mario Odyssey. Let me tell you where we're at with Super Mario Odyssey right now. Last time I checked, we were really close. We are only, oh my gosh, we are less than $2,000 away for getting Super Mario Odyssey added to the schedule here, right after Super Mario Bros. 3. I know we can do it. I know we can do it. It's so easy. Less than $2,000? Oh, you guys have got this. Come on. I'm gonna watch the numbers crawl up as I read some more of your donations. $25 from Chewy. "Let's see the Mario Odyssey run and help with the relief efforts. Keep up the awesome runs and everyone stay safe and healthy." Thank you so much. $25 from Bruno Fightmaster. "The people demand more GDQ." Yes, we do. Which means we need to reach that Mario Odyssey run. Thank you, runners and tech crew, for making this awesome event happen. And thank you, Direct Relief, for helping out everyone you can in this time of need. Got a $500 donation from Bahamut X. "Thank you so much to all the healthcare workers for putting their lives on the line to save others and fight this virus." Oh wow, and a big one, a $1,000 donation from Reverend Gumby, who just says, "Let's go!" $50 from Francisco205. "Really happy to see this community come together to do some good at a time like this. Good luck to all the runners and thanks to all who have donated." Thank you for your generous donation. And thank all of you for tuning in just in time to see one of my favorite games get run by one of my favorite runners.